And what is your name?
Mark.
Okay, Mark, I'm going to ask you some questions. In what aspects of your day or life do you feel your rights go unrecognized?
I feel that I've been fortunate, but there's still a lot of improving to do. There's like, I take handy transit for instance, I do different activities, and they're starting to be more restrictive. Different places are starting to be more restrictive on how to organize things and leg room for changes or stuff like that. They say it's to make it better, but it's really not. So it's not making it better. It's just making it more stressful and more complicated.
Now, why do you believe it took the government 35 years to change the legislation?
Um, Time and like I don't think they wanted to deal with the issues at hand. They try to sweep things under the rug as long as they can until too many people raise the issues. Sometimes it takes years.
Okay. How often do you believe the legislation should be reviewed?
Every 5 to 10 years.
Do you believe that people with developmental disabilities should have their own say as to how things could or should be changed with the legislation?
If they're cognitive enough, yes.
Do you feel that society recognizes the rights of individuals with developmental disabilities?
Okay, my name's Francine. I sometimes thinks that they don't always understand our rights.
In what aspects of your day and life do you feel that your rights go unrecognized?
When we don't have choices of certain decisions that they make.
Do you feel as though your strengths are fully recognized? And how so? Do you feel as though you have the freedom to make your own decisions?
Yes, I do have to feel that I have the right to make my own decisions.
Okay. What advice would you give to people with developmental disabilities?
To try to reach their goals and try to accomplish as much as they can and that they feel like they can do.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you seem like you wanted to give speak more from the heart from what you were saying with some of the things. Did you want to tell me about it?
Okay. Like when. Okay.
Take your time.
Okay.
We're here for a while.
Okay.
No big deal.
Like when we take the city bus and people get teased because they have a disability and they say people like us shouldn't take the city bus because they think we're different.
Mm. You actually heard that? Just
Yes.
out of curiosity?
Yes,
Mm.
that they shouldn't be taking the bus.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I've heard that too. Would you say your supports are good though? Like you can make your own decisions?
Yes, my supports and my people that work with me say that respect me and that I'm allowed to make my own decision choices.
Cool. I've noticed that too personally myself. But would you say it's also a thing of you have to stand up for yourself and
Yes.
not listen to what the government thinks you should do?
Yes.
Perfect. We're one and the same with that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to people in the outside world that do tease people with disabilities? What advice would you have for them?
That we're just the same as them, that we're just because we have difficulties with certain things doesn't mean we're different. Just means that maybe it might take a little more time for us to learn something, but we can learn it, even if it takes us a little bit more time.
Actually, I got one more question. It just came to me. Um, if you want to answer this, you can. If you don't really know how to answer it, you don't have to. Why did you want to be part of this documentary today?
Because I think it's important that we have our voices heard, so that we have rights just as much as anybody else.
All right. I completely agree.
I agree as well.
Anything else, or?
I think that's pretty good.
Cool.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
Okay, what is your name?
Okay, my name is Rene Carbay. I work at the Jarvis Center on Lawrence Street as a receptionist.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a few questions here.
Okay,
And I'll start with, in what aspects of your day or your life do you feel that your rights go unrecognized?
I can't find that one there. I thought you were going to start with the first one in order.
Oh, we can if you want.
Yeah, now we
Okay,
all
I'll
know.
I'll start with the first one then.
Yes,
Do you feel that society recognizes the rights of individuals with developmental disabilities?
yes and no. Because I find it's not fair for the government to take away the little money we make at the Jarvis Center by claiming it on our ODSP, and it's way below. I'd say it's below the poverty line of what I make at Jarvis Center, but I use it for spending for leisure time, and if I need a bit of groceries, I can get my money. And it's not fair for us to have it to claim, because when we claim that on an ODSP, they end up taking it away.
Mm.
And the amount they take away is quite a bit.
I didn't even know that.
Oh yes.
I thought they left it there.
No.
Hmm.
And another thing over here is, if we have a job for the community, let's say you were working in a community, a person, individual with special needs, you would be the first one to be laid off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not fair, because what if you have a better working ability than the normal person does?
Mm-hmm.
What if they lay you off and then suddenly that person really makes a big mess and does harm to their business? Right there, that's
Yeah.
it. They'll know that we should have not let go of that person that with a disability. She was doing a lot better than she knew she was doing. That's what is not fair for us, and it's not right to be that way.
You're
So we have the
absolutely
right to hold on to our job much we can to show that we can work as well and as good as a normal person can.
Amen to that one.
Okay. In what aspects of your day and your life do you feel your rights go unrecognized?
I feel that my rights are recognized when I use public transportation. It's recognized, like they know that I have a right to get on a bus, or I have the right to cross the street at a light, providing the walk light is on, or able to go to the bank, open an account, and deposit my money, and ask questions if I need, in case there's things that I can't answer.
Do you feel as though your strengths are fully recognized?
Yes. I feel I make my own decisions, and the right one or not. I do get support from my peers, staff at work, my mother, so then they'll help me decide if it's the right decision or not.
Okay, perfect. Do you feel as though you have the freedom to make your own decisions?
Okay. Yes. That is something I have been able to do for a while. My mom supports me and gives me advice. I also ask advice from my manager and staff and feel that they give me options.
How does the use of language affect the support that you are receiving?
Okay. I ask for clarification I speak 2 languages, so that gives me 2 ways to communicate.
Why do you believe it took the government 35 years to change the legislation?
Okay, when it was convenient for them, that is when they look into it. Unless something affects a person directly, it's out of sight, out of mind. Unless it's in their face, it did not need to be addressed.
So true, my friend.
Yes.
What advice would you give to people with developmental disabilities?
Okay. I would talk to your family, depending on the advice they want, what service you want, you would ask that area. If it's to purchase something, you can put it on layaway and then ask questions as to what to put down in money. Ask staff or others who cares for me.
Okay. With the new wrong one. What advice would, I asked
Yeah,
that one.
with the new,
Sorry about that.
it's okay.
With the new legislation giving so much to people with developmental disabilities, what do you think we will be losing?
I do not feel I am losing anything.
How often do you believe the legislation should be reviewed?
Every year. Do you believe that people, okay, yeah, yes, they should, every year.
Every year.
Because there's so many changes, they can make changes that would include a right that we should know about, and they won't tell us about it.
Yeah, that's true. Do you believe that people with developmental disabilities should have their own say as to how things could or should be changed with the legislation?
Yes, they should, because the legislation involves us and our rights.
One question off the top of my head,
Okay.
I asked the same question earlier. What would you say to the outside world, the people that like to make fun of people with disabilities? What would you say to them about how their actions kind of affect
Okay,
how
I
you
would
live?
say that because you don't understand, it could also be a type of fear of us, because back in the 60s, we were feared, we were considered dangerous. That I remember.
Yeah.
And because we're not like a normal person are, they think that they're perfect. Everybody should be their way like them. It doesn't work that way.
No.
We were created this way for a reason.
True. Very true. Is there anything that you'd like to add? Any
No? You have any?
opinions?
I just wanted to say, after listening to you, it's nice to know somebody that's not afraid to say how they feel, because I know I feel that it can go both ways, where there's
And-
people in my generation and people in your generation that are just like, well,
Yes.
we have no choice. The
That's right.
government
And there's a lot of us people in our community that are afraid to express how they feel because they'll be laughed at.
Definitely.
And it's pitiful how people put us aside back in the 60s, but today, now we're being recognized in the community.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another reason why we're doing this film, is so that it
Yes,
And
it
this
brings
is
more
to
awareness to
force-
people that don't know
yeah.
as to
And there are a
the
lot of people
opinions
that
of
don't.
the people that they think are scary or they're
Yeah.
scared of, or whatever the case may be. That's another reason we're doing this. So we
And
really
I
appreciate you
believe,
being here.
okay, normal people, I don't want to offend anybody, especially ones that are really good with our community.
Just say how
I
you
find that I'm going to compare between a normal person, normal community, and the physical learning and disability community. How many people are into drugs? How many people have been caught drinking driving? 9% of them is in the normal world or by normal person, maybe 10% by people that are mentally challenged or physically challenged. So that is a big percentage. So to me, I find that they are more retarded than we are. They're lower functioning than we are because they think, hey, that's party,
Yeah.
and you don't need to drink to have a party.
No, most definitely not.
So they think that because they know what they're doing, but when it comes to the youth, then it's a different story.
Yeah, most definitely. And what do you think about that, Mark?
True, very true. I just I wanted to do this documentary both for the experience and to be able to create an atmosphere where
Yes.
this is an uncensored documentary. I personally, like, if anybody spoke from the heart, like, let's say, I don't know, let's say somebody got emotional and spoke from the heart and cried, then they can cry on camera and not be afraid of it. Then, or they can be loud on camera and not be afraid of it. You know what I mean? Because I think that we're too censored by, oh, we can't offend this person.
That's because we were pushed aside a long
Exactly.
time ago, and then from there it's carried on.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, it was really nice meeting you.
nice meeting you, Mark.
Really nice meeting you.
You were good to speak with.
Thanks. And I'm hoping that this was a nice, relaxed interview for
It
you.
was. I was really relaxed. I enjoyed it, and I hope we point out to the community and they realize.
Well, this is one of the first steps to it, so.
Yes.
So, what would your name be, please?
I'm Nadine Mete, and I work as an adult protective service worker in the Sudbury area, as well as I am the chairperson of Adult Protective Service Association of Ontario.
Okay.
Great.
Right. Do you feel that society recognizes the rights of individuals with developmental disabilities?
I believe that it is getting better within our community, that people are starting to recognize the rights, but I still believe that there is a lot of work to be done, and we all need to work together in order to get people to listen to people with developmental disabilities, because they have a voice and deserve to be heard.
In what aspects of your day or your life do you feel that your rights even aren't recognized?
Well, I think in some ways we all kind of get our rights not being heard, but I think we have to learn to speak up for ourselves and try to ensure that our rights are always being met, and that's what we encourage everyone to do, including people with developmental disabilities.
Okay. Do you feel that people with developmental disabilities, do you believe that their strengths are fully recognized?
No, I hope, and that's part of our job as APSWs, is to help people recognize